Welcome, 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 Cacaoistas. I'm Sorrell, plant spirit medicine woman. I'm a medical herbalist, I'm a shamanic practitioner, a healer and a teacher. And it's my task today to guide you on a journey into the lower realm to connect with the spirit of mushrooms. And I'm going to guide you through that practice as a cacao ceremony. The cacao's optional because I'm doing a guided shamanic journey with gongs. You could do this without any cacao at all if you prefer, and just follow my words and the sounds of the gong to guide you. But let's begin by tuning in to our own energy and cleansing our energy field together. And then we can call in the sacred directions. And if you've got your cacao ready, then hold on to it till just after we've called in those directions. And then, because what we'd like to do is offer our cacao to the directions as we call them in, and then we drink our cacao together. And then while you're drinking your cacao, I'll guide you through the practice for today. So what I want to do is work with a energy cleansing practice using our hands. And we take our hands in front of our hearts. We use our heart's love, our heart's energy. I'll take my glasses off as well. That helps. We take our hands in front of our heart space. The energy of our heart chakra will flow into our hands. And we're gathering up that love and that light from our heart space and then washing ourselves clean with it. We wash the outside of our aura, which is an arm's length around us. We wash the next layer of our aura, which is considered the emotional layer. And then we wash the physical layer. So let's do that together. If you want to stand up, you can do that. I'm just going to sit down to do it and guide you through it seated. Hands in front of the heart. Let's imagine that our heart chakra is like a fountain and pouring colourful light into our hands. You might want to imagine it like a particular colour. Some people think the heart chakra is green. Some people say it's pink. Whatever colour resonates for you. So gathering that love and that light up, taking it over the top of our head, and we open up and gift our love and our light to the whole universe. And now we gather our love and light from the universe that's showered to us in this giant goblet that we've made with our arms, and then we pour it over the outside of our energy field all the way down to the ground. Giving it to Mother Earth. It's helpful if you can touch the earth, but if for any reason that's not possible, just shake your hands, give your feet a little wiggle and a stamp to clear the energy out of the meridians, out of your energy field. Okay. We're going to do the next layer now, the emotional layer, gathering love and light from our heart space, scooping that love and light up over your head, opening up to the universe. Thank you, universe, for showering us with love and light. And then we gather that love and light and we bring it through our aura this time, cleansing the emotional layers, anything which is uncomfortable, any anxieties, any stress, any worries, anything which doesn't feel gorgeous, just letting it go into the ground, anything which doesn't serve us, being released, being taken over by Mama. And Mama Earth can compost any of those sticky, heavy energies just the same way she composts our banana skins and turns it into nourishing soil for new life. Now coming back to the heart, we're going to do the final layer, our physical layer, gathering the love and light from our hearts, scooping it up over our heads, sharing it with the whole universe, thanking the universe for showering us with love and light too, gathering that love and light in the goblet of our arms and bringing it all the way through the physical. Imagine it coming through the chakra system, through the meridians, through the cells of the body, through the spaces in between, all the way through, and gifting any old energies which we're cleansing away to the earth. Thank you, Mother Earth, for taking those and composting them. Just releasing any sticky little bits stuck in your fingers or your feet into the ground. Now we're completely clean. Ready enough, anyway, to begin our practice of calling in the directions. It's always good to have a cleanse before we call in the directions. Okay, so now I'm going to take my cacao cup. I've already drunk my cacao, basically because I'm going to need to talk to you while you're drinking your cacao. So I've prepared my energy and drunk my cacao already. And as we are holding our cacao cups, we face the directions that we're calling in. So I will turn my back to you for the first direction as I face east. And we call in the sun where it comes from, where it rises. So I'm going to turn in my lovely swivelly chair to our friends in the east, and we welcome them. We welcome the fire element. We welcome in the dawn the rising sun, the new day. And we welcome in our spirits, friends, condor and eagle, who help us to fly high and see with eagle eyes. They keep us under their wings, they protect us, and they help us to fly wingtip to wingtip with great spirit, bringing our dreams home to reality. Beloved ones, we welcome you, aho. And then we turn to face the south direction, and we call in the energy of water. We call in the flow of life, the day, the warmth of the noon sun. And we call upon snake energy. We call Snake to come and guide us as she knows how to shed the past, how to shed the old ways, the way that she sheds her skin. Help us to know how to shed the past too, Mama Snake. How to release anything which no longer serves us so that we can evolve and grow into the people that we were born to be. Help us to remember to walk softly upon the earth, heartbeat to heartbeat with our mother. We welcome you to our ceremony as we share our cacao with you. Aho. Now we connect in with our friends in the West. Beloved spirits of the West, we welcome you. We welcome the dusk, the setting sun. We celebrate how far we've already come on our journey through life. And we also call in the earth energies, the fertility of life. And we call upon Mama Jaguar. Please protect our medicine space today. Please help us to stalk our shadow, bringing it back home into the light for healing and integration. Beloved ones, we welcome you. Aho. Connecting in now with our friends in the north direction. We welcome you. We welcome the night, the bright moon shining, the air and clarity of thought. We welcome our ancestors, those who have passed away before us and those who are yet to be born. We welcome you. And we also welcome Hummingbird. Hummingbird teaches us to trust the path, to trust the journey we're on, trusting that we will come home to the dreams that we're daring to dream, and to only accept the best in our lives. Beloved ones, we welcome you. Aho. So next we want to drop down and connect with Mama Earth. So I'm going to get off my stool so that I can touch the earth. If you wish to join me, you can do that too. It's a nice humbling practice as well to come down and touch the floor. And we're working with the Mayan medicine wheel today. If you were wondering which medicine wheel we're working on, sometimes the elements are in different positions on the medicine wheel if you work with a different one. But connecting in with Mother Earth energy is the same on any medicine wheel practice. And as we connect in with Mother Earth, we thank her for everything that she gives us, the food, the shelter, and all of our earth relations. We welcome them too, the plant people, the stone people, the animals, furry, feathered and thin ones, creepy, crawly ones, slithery, slimy ones. We welcome you all to our ceremony today. And we welcome in the viruses and the bacteria, and especially our mushroom friends today. And we're going to connect with you up today, mushrooms. We're going to journey to meet you, and we hope that we are going to be a good ally, a good friend to you. Thank you for joining us in ceremony. Oh, let me share our cacao with you. And now we come up to connect with Father Sky. We welcome Father Sky. We welcome the breath of life, the winds of change, the blue skies, the grey. We thank you for wrapping your loving arms of protection around Mother Earth and all of her children, all our relations on Earth. And we share our cacao with you. And we call and share our cacao with Grandmother Moon, with Grandfather Sun, the star nations, and all of our cosmic realm relations. We welcome you. Thank you for joining us. And last but never least, we connect in with Great Spirit. I like to place my hand on my heart for this. And in the Mayan tradition, Great Spirit is creation energy. It's the life force that flows through all things. And so we welcome our connection to that energy within us and without us. We welcome Great Spirit. And we thank you for helping us to connect in with the spirit of mushrooms today on our journey. May they bring us wisdom, healing, and all the information that we need about ourselves and about reality, that we might need to live our best lives. Beloved one, we welcome you and share our cacao. Aho. And now we can drink our cacao. We're offering it to ourselves finally. And as you start to drink your cacao, I'm going to guide you through for a few minutes the practice of journeying, the shamanic journey process. So shamanic journeying is, for those of you who haven't worked with this much before or never before, it's a really gentle visualization process. We imagine that we are going on a journey, leaving our physical body, but still connected. It's not like it doesn't feel like an out-of-body experience. Rarely people may feel a similarity with shamanic journeying and out-of-body experience, but it's very rare to actually have one. And so we're using our imagination and we're tapping into our imagination to journey into the lower realm. And in shamanism, the lower realm is also considered the inner realm. So we're really journeying into our inner landscape, the journey within, to discover parts of ourselves that might need some healing, some integration. But also, when we journey into that lower realm, we can connect up with spiritual teachers that are earth-based. So particularly plants, animal spirits, mushroom spirits, landscape spirits, like you might journey to meet the spirit of a mountain. And there is the middle realm is where we already exist. And then the upper realm is where we connect with higher consciousness, our higher selves, or our spirit guides, our soul tribe. And so there are different parts of these three dimensions that we can connect into depending on what our intention is and what we need in that moment. And I'm guiding you on a journey into the lower realm today to connect with the spirit of mushrooms, partly because of the timing. It's that time of year in the Northern Hemisphere when we start going out and hunting mushrooms and collecting and gathering and storing mushrooms for the seasons ahead where they're not so prominent, where they're not popping up and fruiting. And so it's a good time to celebrate, and it's a good time to honor them and connect with them. In Guatemala, the Guatemalan grandmothers were some of my teachers when I originally learnt about cacao and how to work with cacao in ceremony. Have an entire month where they only eat mushrooms and they stop eating all meat for that month. And it's their mushroom month. And so it's coming up soon for them as well. And so as we're journeying into the lower realm to meet the spirit of mushrooms, we want to imagine that we're leaving our body and that we're flying like we're on a magic carpet, and we are flying across the landscapes of the world to a place in nature where you feel super connected. And perhaps you'd like today to go to a place in nature that might have mushrooms already. So you might want to go to a forest. You might want to go to a meadow where there's mushrooms. However, we're not going to stay on the surface when we get there. We're going to look for a way to go down. And this is where it all gets a little bit Alice in Wonderland. So we've gone from Aladdin to Alice in Wonderland stories. And then we're going to dive down into the lower realm. Sometimes you'll find there's a hole in the ground, or maybe in the roots of a tree, like a warren that a rabbit or a badger or a fox may have dug out. Sometimes there's a door in a tree, like a fairy door that you can go through. It could be a cave. It could be a body of water that you're diving down like a mermaid and then out into an underground cave. It really is okay. Wherever you go, we're just imagining that we're descending into the lower realm. And as we descend, we are tuning into our intention to journey to meet the spirit of mushrooms today. So I've done this journey myself to prepare, to make sure that I am in alignment and offering you the right words for today. And one of the most important messages I got right at the start of the journey was, be careful who you go searching for in the lower realm, because not all mushrooms have our best interests at heart. Some mushrooms are toxic, some mushrooms are deadly. And so I was advised by my spirit guides on my journey to intentionally call out for friendly mushrooms, the mushrooms that can support you. And I journeyed into the lower realm, and I came out and I connected up with psilocybin mushrooms. Now, I've not worked with psilocybin mushrooms for a while now. Probably it might be a year or two since I've worked with psychedelic mushrooms. partly because they're illegal in this country. And some countries there's less issue with this, so depending on which country you're tuning into. So this is another beautifully safe way to connect in with the messages, the wisdom, the teaching, the healing of psilocybin mushrooms without having to do anything illegal. You can just use your imagination to connect in and journey with them. However, if any of you are in countries where you are able to access them legally, you wanted to do this journey with psilocybin involved physically, I would say just do a very, very low dose so that you can still focus on the journey that I'm guiding you on. Otherwise, you'll be off on your own journey, which is also fine, but it won't necessarily facilitate the journey that I'm taking you on. Okay, so you might want to choose which mushroom before you go down into the lower realm you're going to connect with. Maybe you're working with lion's mane or chaga or reishi mushroom at the moment, some of these wonderful mushrooms that we're working with to support our immune system. Or maybe you would like to connect with psilocybin mushroom. So whichever mushroom you'd like to choose, or you just want to phrase it, I'm going into the lower realm to connect with the friendly mushrooms today, in the same way as we talk about friendly bacteria. Perhaps you'd like to phrase it that way and just see who shows up. I didn't phrase mine any other way. I didn't ask to meet psilocybin, but psilocybin was the mushroom that showed up for me. And I wanted to share my journey a little bit with you to give you some encouragement and to feel safe before you go. So let's summarize that again. So we're going to imagine, and I'll guide you through this practically in a moment too when we do the journey. We're going to imagine we're leaving our bodies. We're going to go to a place in nature, which I want you to imagine before you go. So maybe you go to a forest that you know. Don't go somewhere you've never been before. It's really nice if you go somewhere you're comfortable with. So it might be that you're going to see a favorite tree or your favorite beach or your favorite forest or your favorite meadow or your favorite mountain. Doesn't really matter where you go. As long as you feel safe, you feel comfortable there and connected to nature. Then we look for a way to go down, a hole, a door, a cave, whatever comes through. And remember, this is your imagination. You can make it up. And so then we go down the hole together. We go down and down around a tunnel, like we're falling down like Alice in Wonderland. And then we come out into the lower realm landscape. Sometimes it's a bit dark when you get down there, particularly if you're new to this space. Then you can often land in a cave. And remembering again, if it's dark, this is your imagination. You can turn on the light, you can light a torch or some candles or whatever works for you. And then we are going to be calling for a guide to guide us on our journey. So I'm going to ask you also to connect with a power animal today. And the power animal that came through for me, for my journey, was bat. And bat taught me that mushrooms and bat were quite similar because they can both help us to see in the dark and to face our shadows. And so bat took me on a journey to meet the mushrooms. So we're going to be working with that idea, going down into the lower world, connecting with a power animal who will guide us to meet our mushroom friends. And together we will talk, we will have a conversation. You might have something you're working on at the moment in your reality. So maybe you're working on a health issue, maybe you're working on a work or a social issue or a personal relationship issue. Whatever you're working on at the moment, you can have a conversation about it, gather some wisdom to help you on your life's path. Okay, and then at the end of all of that, I will bring you home again. I will call you back the same way as you've journeyed all the way back into your body again. So you're fully grounded and you're able to integrate whatever came through for you. I'm going to be working with the gongs. The gongs make lots of different noises all at once, 12, 13 different noises all at once. So they're very confusing for the left brain consciousness, which helps our right brain to become active. And our right brain is our shamanic brain and it can connect in. It's the imagination. So it can connect in with this idea of the spirit of mushrooms. So we do initiate the journey using our imagination. And after a while, when we get into that landscape of the lower realm, our imagination will take over a little bit like we're dreaming, but awake. And then other things start to unfold and come through for us. Allow everything to come through. When you come back, then we can make notes, we can journal, and then we can integrate. Okay. So if you are ready, we can begin by getting super comfortable. It's because we're working with gong. If you do have a really good set of headphones or speakers, it's best to plug yourself in or plug on your best speakers because the gongs are quite complex and some of the noises that they make can be lost when we don't have a good enough sound system. So let us begin waking up the gongs while you get yourself super comfortable, lying down or sitting up supported, if that's easier for you to stay awake and stay focused for your journey. And then as I start to play the gongs, just start to take some deep breaths, relaxing. And Mama Cacao is always a wonderful assistant for these journeys because she helps to wake up the brain but soothe the body. And she helps us to see through our third eye and also our heart's eyes. In the Mayan tradition, we talk about the heart having eyes, the heart wisdom, and that being the main place that we should journey from. The heart should be the boss, not the head. So breathing in deep into your chest, expanding your chest and your abdomen as you breathe in, and breathing out. If you make your out breath a little bit longer than the in breath, that starts to soothe the physical body, soothe the nervous system, helping it to know that it's time to rest and relax now. Now let's start to physically relax our body deeper and deeper. Let's relax each muscle from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes. First of all, we're going to focus in on our forehead, just relaxing the forehead. Relaxing the eyes and the muscles around the eyes. Relaxing the cheeks and the jaw, the mouth and the tongue. Relaxing the neck, the muscles around the back of the neck, the sides of the neck, the front of the neck, just softening and relaxing. Relaxing into the shoulders, allowing your shoulders to drop an inch or two. Just giving your body permission to release any tension it's been holding. Relaxing down into the arms, the upper arms, the forearms, the hands and the fingers. Relaxing into the chest now, the muscles of the rib cage and the upper back, the muscles either side of the spine. Relaxing all the way down the spine into the lower back, into the sacrum, and in the front of the body, relaxing through the torso, the abdomen, the lower abdomen. Relaxing into the hips, the pelvis. Relaxing down into the thighs. Now down into the lower legs, the shins, the calves, the feet and the toes. Now we've spent a little bit of time relaxing our physical body. We can begin to wake up our shamanic brain and our third eye consciousness. And we can do this using our imagination, by imagining that our mind is completely empty like the void of space, except for a tiny white star right in the middle, behind the eyes, between the ears. Now if you're not a very visual person, just follow my words and imagine it in whatever way works for you, just hearing the story, just like when you're listening to a play on the radio. With your eyes closed, just imagining that white light in your mind getting bigger and brighter, like it's a shooting star coming towards you. And It gets so big and so bright that it starts to fill up the whole of your mind now. Now it starts to move into the features of your face, into your hair, into your neck, your shoulders. It starts to move like a river of white fire. Moves down through the back and the chest, into your arms, your hands, your fingers, into the torso and the abdomen, down into the pelvis, the hips, the very base of the spine and the lower back, down into the thighs, the calves, the shins, the ankles, the feet and the toes. Now it expands out of you just an inch. Now it expands out of you to fill up the room that you're in. And our white light becomes like a second skin, so start to imagine that you can sense the objects in the room with you, or any other people in the room with you. Or perhaps you've got pets or plants or other musical instruments in your room, sensing their conscious presence energy. Now let's fill our landscape around us. Let's imagine that we're taking our energy field a mile wide, really expanding our conscious awareness now. And as you feel into the landscape around you and beneath you, we're feeling all the way down into the earth beneath us. Feeding deep into that layer beneath us. We can sense the presence energy. Maybe you can sense the concrete beneath you, or maybe you can sense the earth or the rock beneath you. Or maybe you're on a boat right now and you can feel the water beneath you. Or underground streams stretching beneath you. And then we feel above us as well. We feel into the landscape above us, the air, the quality of the air, the temperature of the air, the movement of the air. And if you're in a place surrounded by some greenery, maybe you've got a garden or there's parks around you, you can feel into the trees, the plants that grow there. If there are trees and plants around you, there will no doubt be some kind of mushrooms around you too. Living in the soil, connecting up the tree's roots, and that symbiotic relationship that they have to feed each other nutrients, keep each other healthy and strong. Now let's start to draw our energy field back into the room that you're in. So just shrinking that energy awareness, so it's just you in your room. Now coming back to just being you inside your aura, and now coming back to being you in your skin, feeling where you begin and end again as a physical being. And now drawing that energy all the way back up into your mind's eye again, so it becomes a tiny point of pure white light in the center of your mind. This tiny white light represents your conscious awareness. And we're going to send it on a journey. And I like to imagine it's like Tinkerbell the fairy. It's going to be a little sparkling light going on a journey for us. So think about where it's going. Remember that place in nature where you'd like to go, or it's a local forest or a meadow or a beach or another landscape. And let's imagine that that little white light right in the center of our mind is leaving through the crown chakra, the chakra which sits on the very top of the head. And it's starting to fly towards that place in nature, out through a door or a window. Now as you leave the building or the space that you're in, a magical golden mist surrounds you and protects you, like you're wrapped up in the wings of angels. And it carries you across the landscapes, across the fields, across the urban environments and the countryside, across forests, farms, meadows, lakes, rivers, oceans, maybe even mountains and deserts. And you start to see the landscape where you want to be landing, coming into view. And you start to descend down into it like an aeroplane coming into land. And you feel yourself coming down and your feet touch the ground. And the golden mist subsides so that you can connect into this landscape, becoming fully present there, sensing the texture and the temperature of the ground beneath your feet. Perhaps it's dry rock or sand, or perhaps it's a moist forest floor, crunchy leaves beneath your feet. However you sense that energy, feeling it with all senses, so feeling the texture, the moisture, sensing the temperature of the air, smelling that smell from that particular landscape that you might recall in some way. Noticing what you're seeing, noticing if you're in a different time of year or a different time of day to the place that you've left your body. And that can often be a significant part of the teachings that we get. The journey's already begun. Now we want to set a really clear intention for our journey. So we'll do that now before we go down through the hole that's going to carry us into the lower realm. So let's tune into our intention and state it 3 times together. We're going on a journey into the lower realm to connect with the power animal and the friendly mushrooms. We're going on a journey into the lower realm to connect with the power animal and the friendly mushrooms. We're going on a journey into the lower realm to connect with the power animal and the friendly mushrooms. And now let's look for the way to go down. Now you might notice a door in a tree, you might notice a hole in the ground, a cave, or a body of water that you're going to dive in. And we'll go together on the count of 3. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Let's start journeying down and round, down and round, down and round. Deep, deep, deep we go into the lower realm landscape. And as we fall deeper and deeper into this world, we can feel our consciousness shifting as we go to the inner realm, the inner landscape of ourselves and the lower realm of the spirit world. And we can feel ourselves now slowing down, the journey slows down, and we start to land in that lower realm landscape. And you start to feel into the landscape that you've landed in. If it's dark, remember you can turn on the lights in some way. Call for your power animal now. You might simply want to say with your inner voice, I'm calling for my power animal, I'm calling for my power animal, I'm calling for my power animal. And see what comes through. Be patient. And any animal, it could be a mythical being as well, it doesn't have to be an animal that we've met on earth. Could be a spirit animal of some kind, can step forward or fly or swim towards you. And you might just want to check, are you my power animal for the day? And again, remembering that rule of 3, asking it 3 times, and on the 3rd answer, you will have the truth. As your power animal comes to you, thanking it for its presence today, for coming through for you on this particular journey, to help you, to guide you, to help you to see the lessons and to remember the path. If you go on a journey within the journey through the landscape. Your animal spirit protects you and guides you. And so spend a little bit of time getting to know your power animal. What special qualities does it have? How does it like to live? Does it like to come out at night, or does it prefer the daytime? What does it like to eat? Perhaps it's vegetarian, or perhaps it's a meat eater. Perhaps it's a hunter. Perhaps it prefers to eat carrion. What special gifts does your power animal have to teach you? For us to connect with the spirit of our friendly mushroom friends. So if you're ready, your power animal's with you and you're ready to go, you can ask your power animal now to guide you to the next stage of this journey. You might have a particular mushroom you want to ask to meet, or maybe you're following the idea of just meeting some friendly mushrooms today, and let's see who shows up. They may take you on a journey within the journey, so follow them, or perhaps the mushrooms will appear before you in this space, pop up in the way that they do. As the mushrooms arrive, or you come across your mushroom friends, perhaps you have questions for them. Perhaps you want to ask them about themselves, the same way as when you meet a new friend. How do they live their lives? What do they like to eat? Do they live off wood? Do they live off animals? What special qualities do these mushrooms have? To ask your mushrooms for some healing or some wisdom on a particular subject that you're working through. I'm going to continue to play the gongs for you. feels right. begin our journey home. So I want you to refocus and just connect in again with anybody you've been working with today. Thanking the mushroom spirits, thanking your power animal, whoever has come through for you today. Just thanking them for their wisdom, their presence, their healing, their connection, for showing up for you today. And then ask your power animal to guide you home so that you can get to the place where you first entered this landscape, the portal where you came through, and start making your way back. Find yourself fully back at the entrance of the portal, and I'm going to start to call you home. Feel your body calling you home now. Feel yourself being pulled up and round through the tunnel where you first entered this landscape, going higher and higher and feeling your consciousness shift at the same time. Feeling your consciousness lighten as you reach up and pop out through the crust of the earth and into nature, into the place in nature where you first landed. The golden mist is waiting for you when you step into the golden mist, and it lifts you up and carries you home across the landscapes of the world, across the forests, the meadows, the mountains, the valleys, the rivers, the oceans, the lakes, the fields, the farms, the urban environments. Seeing the place where your body is resting coming into view, you start to descend into that landscape. Feel yourself coming into land in the place where you left your body, seeing your body waiting for you and coming home into your body through the crown chakra now. Welcome home, everybody. Start to feel yourself fully present in your physical body again. Perhaps you'd like to connect in by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, taking some deep breaths into the body to help you to really ground yourself. Now we're home again. So I want you to spend a little bit of time integrating now. Find the best way is to make some notes, for me personally, but whatever works for you. Just trying to recall as much of the information that you've gathered on your journey, the thoughts, the feelings, the visions, senses, sensations, memories that came through for you, making some notes about them. And then read through it once you've made those notes, because sometimes it jolts a new or another memory, another detail that can help you to understand what's come through for you and the wisdom and the healing that's come through for you today. And I'd love to hear all about your journeys. If you'd like to send me a message either through Instagram or through the YouTube comments beneath this video would be great, so that other people also can see how you've been getting on and also get excited about this experience and see the synchronicities. Often there's so much synchronicity in the journeys that we experience together when we go on the same adventures. So let's explore that together. Now we need to close our ceremonial circle so that we're free to get on with our day or our evening, wherever you are in your time zone. And so I'm going to use a rattle, if I can find my rattle. Here it is. And we're going to say goodbye to all our friends that we called in, particularly our mushroom friends, before we say goodbye to each other. So let's just focus our awareness on our directions. And we thank our spirits of the East, the fire, the new dawn, the new day, this opportunity to rebirth ourselves, and Condor and Eagle for helping us to fly high, protecting us, and connect up into the ether. We release you, I should say. Aho. Connecting in and releasing our friends in the south, the water, the flow of life, the day, the warmth of the noon sun, and Mama Snake. Thank you for helping us to release the past and the old stories that are holding us back from being the best versions of ourselves. Thank you, and we release you. Aho. Connecting in and releasing our friends in the west. We release the earth, the fertility of life, the dusk, the setting sun, and we release Mama Jaguar. Thank you for protecting our medicine space and helping us to face our shadows, bringing them into the light today. Thank you. We release you. Connecting in with our friends in the north, the night, the bright moon shining, the air and clarity of thought. We release you. We release Hummingbird. Thank you for protecting us, for guiding us, for helping us to trust the journey, and for reminding us to only accept the best in our lives. We thank you and release you. Aho. Connecting in again with the earth beneath our feet. We thank you, Mama Earth. We thank you for all you do for us, for holding space for us in space, for providing us with all the food and the shelter that we've needed, and for all of our earth relations, plant people, stone people, animals, furry, feathered and finned, creepy, crawly, slithery, slimy, and the viruses, the bacteria, and of course our mushroom friends. We thank you and we release you. And we connect up with Father Sky. Thank you, Father Sky, for your loving arms wrapped around us and all of Mother Earth's children. Thank you for the breath of life, the winds that change, the blue skies, the grey. We release you. We release Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, the star nations, and all of our cosmic realm relations. And last but never least, we thank Great Spirit, the creation energy, the life force that flows through all of us and all that is. We thank you for connecting us up today through this beautiful ceremony, working with cacao and mushrooms and gong. Thank you for helping me to connect with all of you as well. Thank you. We release you, Great Spirit, and we release you. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so please do get in touch if you need any support with anything that's come through for you today. I love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you again in ceremony very soon.